So my friend asked to do a tarot card reading on me, and I decided to humor him. And it came up with anger from Slay Spire. He was really confused, but I knew exactly what I meant. It was a sign that my game was too generic. So I went on a long, perilous journey to make my game unique. And I took this and turned it into this. Hello and welcome back. Yeah, I've changed my game a lot. I think it looks really awesome now, and I'm really excited to do more on it. But yeah, for why I actually changed it to the way I did, I've always liked that tactical kind of like grid-like type of games, like XCOM and all that. And I was really looking for that mechanic to set my game apart from any others, and I felt like there was a lot that I could do with more of a grid-based type of game. So I was like, you know what? Let's spend like a week, see if I can kind of get this implemented, and if I can, we'll run with it. If not, then no harm, no foul. And it actually worked really well. So yeah, we're here now. And like, I also figured like this is a game I would want to play more, and my design philosophy has always been a game I'd want to play is a game somebody else would want to play. So that's kind of what I was going for with that, and I would want to play it so much more. So yeah, let's get into it. So yeah, here's the new and improved game. It's a lot more responsive than it used to be. So now you can actually move your character around, and you can also target where your cards will hit. Some cards will target like specific characters, and others will target like a specific cell or the player themselves. And there's also now AoE abilities that hit multiple things within that area, so there can be multiple enemies damaged. I still kept the buff and debuff system from earlier because I still want that to be a mechanic of my game, but I also add those glowing cells. What those are like how other games might have cells that are like burning, where if you're standing in them, you take damage at the start of your turn. I wanted to make a more comprehensive version of this effect. So those are illuminated tiles, and what those do is basically at the start of your turn, based on how many cell effects are there, you gain that many light buffs. Now, the super cool part about this is that they actually persist between fights. So if you have a bunch of illuminated cells before you defeat the enemy, those will actually persist into the next fight, so they'll still be there. And I felt like it had that comic book fast-paced like style to where it's like one fight after another, like the goons just keep on coming till the big boss, like the big super villain comes out. And I thought it was like so much cooler. Like I really like how the mechanic feels, and I think the pacing makes it super cool. We'll see how it scales, I guess, like as time goes on, but for now I'm gonna keep it like this and we'll see how it goes. Another part of my game that I've been working on recently that I'm super happy with is my comic system. I know a lot of roguelikes don't really have story, and I kind of think it would be a little bit intrusive to have it in the middle of a run, but I wanted a way to where you can like unlock comic panels and have them be like a reward for beating certain runs, or beating it with certain characters. So although I'm not going to have the whole story be told through comic panels, I want some of it to be, and then the other ones would be with like sprite characters where they're just like having dialogue back and forth with each other. It's kind of impractical for me to draw like a ton of panels because I am a solo dev after all, but I thought this was like a good compromise. And honestly, I think the comic panels look really surprisingly well considering I learned how to do art, like 6-7 months ago? Like they're nowhere near perfect, but they definitely have that hand-drawn charm. But yeah, feel free to comment what you think about them. So the final thing that I added that I thought was really cool, that I wanted to share was my enemy AI. So first of all, I wanted it to have like different movement types to where like, you don't see a sniper just running into like melee range being kind of dumb. But you also have the melee characters actually running towards people, also not being dumb. And then also there's like different types of ways that it selects what ability to use. So like certain ones will do it based on like conditions. Like if they're below a certain HP, they'll do ability B. If not, they're doing ability A. Or like some of them might do like a rotation of like, you do the setup ability, like you aim your fucking sniper and then you shoot. And then like other ones might have like smarter ones like bosses, like they actually have logical steps on how to do it. But I like how I was able to kind of really build it all into one modular set instead of having to like hard code each enemy in. The other thing is, so the targeting and the moving between characters and enemies are obviously going to be different since the player is controlling the player and the enemy has to decide for themselves what to do. But the way that their abilities now actually resolve is the same now, when before it wasn't. Because before I was scared that like stuff like gaining energy, obviously an enemy can't gain energy, so why would I do that? But I realized over time, I'm the one working on it. I just won't use the gain energy thing, and I can add like a little bit more flexibility in later to where if it ever does get that, like I accidentally hit or something, it just kind of ignores it and goes to like the next best ability. But in general, this whole new system is so much better. Basically, instead of having to add every ability I want to do twice, like say when I added this dash ability, I don't have to add it for the player and then the enemy separately. I could just add it once and they both have access to it. Also, so if you've watched one of my videos before, you've probably heard me call my game Paragon Comics and not Apotheosis Comics. Now, the reason for that is because that was the name, but I recently found out that Epic Games had made a game back in like 2016 called Paragon. It didn't really work out well, but they still own the trademark on the name, and I don't want to like risk having any legal issues. I doubt it would be a problem, but like it's better just not to like try because I'm broke. So the main goal I have next is I'm trying to finish a demo by June because I want to have my demo done by Steam Next Fest in June, and that way you guys can actually try it out and I can get the word out there a little bit more about my game. Obviously, I got a lot of steps to go still, but my goal is to have at least like one part of 3 different runs for 3 characters. So like Radiance and then 2 other characters, each with their own bosses, which sounds pretty manageable from there. The next thing I'll be working on probably is getting those next 2 characters actually in the game. So that'll be fun. I'll probably be making a video on that next. So yeah, make sure to subscribe if you're interested in that. Besides that, VFX, I'm going to be adding that soon to make my cards look slightly better and also make my particles look better. I'm going to try to actually import my own custom images for my particles instead of using like the built-in Unity ones because they don't really work with the comic lab very well, as you can kind of see. On top of that, I'm almost done with Radiance's like full kit, so I need to add like 5 more cards or so. I'm going to try and make like some more interesting cards, like those really crazy Exodia cards that when you get, you're like, damn, this is what I can build a run off of. So I'm trying to like think of really intriguing ones for that. But besides that, that's about it. If you liked it, make sure to like the video. That'd be very helpful. Share it with your friends if you like. That also would be like immensely helpful because this is like my main way of getting the word out about my game. So any help, I really appreciate. Besides that though, thank you so much for watching all the way to the end, and I'll see you in the next one.